200 subscribers. What's up, guys? I'm going to start with that because I just want to say thank you. Last night, April 1st, today's April 2nd, 3:33 a.m. with 33 seconds. Again, I'm lying. It is 3:33 a.m. though. How is everybody doing? 51,000 views plus views. But I just wanted to say thank you guys to those that you've never heard me say subscribe, like, or comment. Well, you might have heard me say comment because I do like seeing this stuff. Guys, I do read everything. I will respond. It just takes a little longer. I used to do comment videos. I definitely could do that, but I read everything. And I do want to say one of the comments was, I start videos or I will say, so that you can tell how chains look on me, I will tell you my height and my weight. I usually say I'm almost 6'4", and that I weigh 240 pounds. So with that being said, someone had commented, and it's a great comment, appreciate it, and I appreciate you watching the video, that the height doesn't really matter, that it's more about body style. So I agree with that, but the reason that I would say, okay, the reason why height does kind of matter is if someone looks and they say, well, this guy is 6'4", and I'm 6'4", but he weighs 240 and I weigh 200, these 26-inch chains are going to hang like 28 inches or maybe even 29, 30. So, because guys, this is a 22-inch right here, and this would hang about like that, but of course I have a pendant on it. And with that, we're going to go ahead and talk about today's video. Today's video, guys, is going to be about subtle chains. It's going to be what would you want, and what we're going to do is I'll have this one on, but I will show you guys with it and without it. Okay, right now I'm wearing the 3 chains that I'm going to show you. Not so subtle, huh, right now, but I've got them all on because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put them in my shirt, plop one out, not a boobie, the necklaces, guys, and then kind of let you go from there. So Braden called it from Jacoji, called it a rule of 4. I don't know if that's his term or whatever, but guys, that's 4 inches. So if you have, for instance, say this is a 26-inch chain, right? So a 24-inch chain is actually going to hang right about here, okay? But that's only an inch. We can all math that much, right? 24 and 26, that's 2 inches. But the way that it hangs, it's going to leave about a 1-inch drop. So the 22 and 26 is the way for me to go. Now, mini pendants are that size pendant, guys. To me, kind of looks a little bit better. The standard size Boss Cross, this is a mini Boss Cross, flooded Boss Cross, but the standard size looks fine on it. However, it does come down and it touches. So for you guys that are kind of wondering how much bigger a standard is, the standard comes out to about here and it comes down to here. Okay, so it sits right on top of that. I kind of like having that little gap in between. I have script pendant, the M2 that I like wearing. I have the some mini angels. I thought about doing the Emerald Lion. If you guys are ever wondering about the Jacoji Lion, that's one of the best pieces lion-wise that I've seen. I'm not just like kissing Jacoji's butt all the time, guys, I swear. I've done purchases from there, so that's what I can talk on, okay? I mean, if you're in a relationship, all the relationships you've ever been in are abusive relationships, that's all you know, right? So I'm going to tell you guys, the higher, and on his pendants, there's not that big of a jump, or there wasn't. If you're already going to dish that amount of cash, the higher purity stuff, the 14, 18, and 22 karat lion, specifically, not maybe the angel, but specifically the lion, the higher purity, the more detailed that looks. Now Mike got the from the Tried Truth guys. Check him out if you haven't seen any of his stuff. It's the Tried Truth. He got the large lion. I hope he keeps it. It's a really cool piece. I think I'm gonna sneeze. Three banger. Wow. So I will not edit that out. You are welcome. So we're gonna start off, guys. And again, these are 26 inches on me, okay? And the reason I'm talking subtle look, guys, is I like this look. I like the real clean look. Now, trust me, I like my 7mm Cubans, and I like my 6mm rope chains, or 7mm rope chains. 6 is probably my favorite for the show, but not like overshown. I've had the 7. There's nothing wrong, guys. It's just whatever you're comfortable with wearing or what you're looking for. So this is a 5mm concave curb from linksrefill.com. This is a 5mm, guys. It's actually a 5.2. It is 14 karat gold. And I called this the chain of the year last year. And the reason I did that is because I have massive headaches, and my top 5 chains are, number 1's rope, number 2 is Cuban. And Cubans, you know, shout out Daniel Jewelry Inc., which I think has the coolest file. Just personally, I wanted something. So I even got a flat curb, and I was cool with that. I had a 5.5. I did videos on that. There was a 5.9 concave flat, which were kind of like flat curbs, just a little bit different. I think they were thinner. And then the 6.5, which I wore with the 6.5 rope for a while. I put on that 6mm rope, and I just feel like that's a perfect chain. But however, I need something every once in a while that's lighter or whatever, and what do I want to wear? So this chain right here with the links, and I'll take them off and we'll get up and close, is one of my favorite chains, guys. If it was an 18 karat gold, we'd be talking real close, okay, to my favorite. But this is what it looks like alone. And can you wear a pendant on this? Yes, you can. Some people don't like it because it will pull to that V, you know. I say if you wear jewelry all the time, guys, mix it up as much as you can. Have fun with it. And people used to ask me, what's your everyday piece? And I had everyday pieces, but it's kind of fun to just mix and match sometimes. You know, wear what you have with your outfit. I mean, to me, like this is going to go well with, you know, like a sweater or, I mean, just about anything. If you just want to be clean cut. So let's go ahead and match this up, guys, with this cross. So you can kind of see what it looks like if you wanted to do this kind of layering look. And that's kind of how this looks. And guys, I could wear a regular t-shirt, but that's going to make everything lay flat as possible. So I wanted to go ahead and put on a hoodie because this is what I wear the most. Now, this hoodie is a little bit weird, but that's how this goes. So personally, the heavier this is, so this is, I can't remember, 36 grams maybe. But the heavier your flat link is, the more it's going to lay flat, guys, okay? And that's just the way that is. But this chain right here, again, is one of my favorites. And if you're in for a flat link, you know, maybe that's what you like. Maybe you don't like Franco's ropes, heavy links, or anything like that. We're going to call it a heavy link just because it came from Jacoji. I know there's many other names, including the original name. But guys, that's the one. I'm going to drop that down there. Get that light back on. Here we go. So I think the links on this are just really cool. And again, guys, if you've never seen it or heard any of these videos, it kind of sticks up on the side, dips down the middle, but does it on both sides. super cool shine. That kind of link there. So that is, who are we pulling out next here? Let's go ahead and pull out the rope. Now, I want to know your guys' opinion. So this is one of those times I'm going to ask you to comment. I want to, you know, and kind of remember if you have to go back or whatever, what is a better look? And this is white. We're wearing white here. This is the rope chain. Again, so I'm wearing something a little more frustrating on purpose so you guys can see. Again, the heavier the chain, the more flat it's going to lay, right? So hoodies, guys, if you want to put this on a pendant, it's going to lay like that. Right? This is for that real subtle look. This is 18 karat, 3.5 millimeter rope chain. Okay. And here it is with the 2 millimeter rope chain. That's what this is. Should be getting a 22 karat heavy cable link sometime. We'll see how that works out. But guys, that's kind of what this looks like here with the rope. And on these chains, guys, I would definitely, the 5 millimeter concave, the 3.5 millimeter rope, and then I'm going to show you the 3.2 millimeter heavy link, which I think is my favorite look. I would recommend standard size pendants. This small one would be a little small for down here for me. However, up here, I think it's great. So the reason I'm showing you both is because, again, a regular shirt, guys, this is going to lay perfect. And this is 26 inches, so 24 would be about here. And 22 is going to be about here. And with that pendant, it hangs, right? So I kind of like just that subtle look now. So I'm rocking these pendant, or excuse me, not the pendant necessarily, but I wanted something that I could just, that's not a 6 millimeter or even a 5 millimeter. I wanted a real thin chain. And so I thought about getting a 3 millimeter Franco. Guys, they're real clean looks, but for some reason they just don't do a lot for me. Now, if they're classy as all that, they are the perfect pendant chain. It's just, I would rather have a rope or a heavy link. Franco's not in my top 5. The other ones are. So, again, I'm going to ask you, which is the better solitaire look, guys? This rope? Or this 18 karat gold 3.2 millimeter heavy link? I know my opinion. By the way, let's check this out. Here's the, y'all have seen a rope before, but let's go ahead and, you see it hidden. So the discussion's always like, well, the smaller chains are gonna shine a little more. It kind of just depends. They shine different. The 6 millimeter rope, you know, is gonna have bigger, you know, polished edges versus one that has a bunch of small ones. So these do shimmer. The other ones shine, these shimmer. That's what I would definitely say, because they're always going to catch light, and there's no light in here, guys. So the heavy link, what do you think by itself? I'm going to tell you right now, I think this is the way to go. So why? There's several reasons why this is probably my favorite if I had to just choose one to always have. Number one, it's a round link, so I'm not going to have to worry about any, you know, getting tied up or flipping or anything like that. The concave doesn't do that a lot, and it's weird because it looks like it is, but that's just because the sides and stuff. I think this chain, the shine-wise factor is crazy. It doesn't catch my beard, and I think the presence is more. So that rope's a 3.5, but it's cut down to 3.3 because diamond cuts, bzzz, right? This guy's a 3.2, and I'm guessing it's a 3. Oh, okay, so check that out. The presence wise, way back here, I feel like if I want to just do a solitaire chain, you know, where can I go wrong with this? Because this is perfect for a pendant for those that want round links, or just period. It's very comfortable. It doesn't catch even the smallest hair. And do you guys see this? How it's just kind of heavy. So this one weighs 41 grams. I think they're listed at 39 on a site. Either way, it's laying like this. The rope chain weighs 30 grams, guys. Now check this out. This is with that rope chain. And so even here, I think this might be the better look. Because we've got, you know, this going on here. Now, I think the rope, now the thinner the rope, guys, it's made on a wire. So the thinner the rope, and this is a 14 karat rope, it's going to be just kind of, you know, be a little more careful with it. So that's why I was kind of thinking cable link, because, you know, if you ever have taken off your shirt, or maybe you don't, maybe you just leave them on forever until it disintegrates off of you. But you ever caught that when you're pulling it up and you're afraid you might break your chain? So I thought a heavy link might be a little bit stronger here wise. If you're going to do something, it might be the lobster clasp or something. But what do you guys think about this? I think this is what I wanted all along. I think because the rope is my overall #1 favorite chain, I think that I have a weird allegiance to it. You know, because I'm still going to put it at #1, I think. However, I've had the heavy links before, guys, and I love them. I loved it. You know, the smaller version, I had a 2.7. I think that is one of the greatest sizes. And for pendants, and it was just real relaxing, real chill. Now, I can show you guys what a 22 inch, and this is real thin. 2 millimeter. Maybe that's what you want. I think if you're gonna do a thin chain, like a 2 millimeter, maybe you're gonna want to do shorter, but that's just my opinion. Okay. The world is your oyster. Do what you want. But check that out. So if it's, see how you got that issue up here? Guys, be prepared. If this is you, this would be probably a 20 inch on some skinnier people. This is a 22 inch on me, okay? Be prepared for this, and especially probably snagging. Now, when you have a pendant on a rope chain, the only time that it really kind of pinches you is if you lean down. But I don't have this one catch hardly at all, guys. Now, I want to show you the heavy link real quick. Guys, this is probably one of my favorite chains. It's the 18 karat. It's got more of the real true 18 karat gold color to it as well. More of the bigger lobster here. I don't know if I showed you that's the rope chain, guys. So when it comes to these smaller chains, I almost prefer this kind of lobster clasp, because if you're wearing a pendant, it'll just slide right through. It's not because of, you know, the way it looks or anything. It's just the way that if you want to sleep in it and it's down here, your pendant will go on through it most likely. Now the heavy link, I understand it's a heavier chain. They wanted to do a little more protection. That's fine. And maybe people don't wear, I'm going to tell you, I think this is the perfect chain for a pendant. It just kills it. When it was smaller, I thought the angel pendant just rocked on it because it was totally just different, you know, than what most people have. You see a lot of ropes. If you want to stand out, guys, there you go. Stop trying to fit in and stand out. That's the thing. People are like, should I get this or this? Or should I? It's like, don't ask people, you know. Like I asked you, what do you think looks better? Do you think that heavy link or the rope? And I mean that. But I don't, but when it all comes down to it, I'm going to wear what I want to wear. I'm going to wear what's comfortable, and I want to wear what I like. So the last solitaire look here, guys, is a 22-inch chain for me. 6'4"-ish, 240-ish in the AM-ish. So it is going to hang different. And that's subtle. Okay? So it all kind of just depends on what your preference is. You know, we all like the big chains, I'm sure. Maybe not. I like the big chains, but just between my lifestyle, my age, and then by age, I just mean like I've evolved. Okay, I don't mean like I'm too old to wear. Guys, if you're 70 and wearing a big, do it. Okay, who cares what people think? It's your life. For real. I mean, the last time, what I say, someday your life's gonna flash before your eyes. Make sure it's worth watching. I think the other day, so it's like, for sure. But what do you guys like the most as the subtle look? So the 22-inch, you know, just a regular, so a 24-inch would be down here. Again, I kind of get headaches. 26-inch kind of helps with that. 24-inch is cool, but I wear a lot of hoodies, and so it does get pulled up a little. However, that 26-inch is just, I think, is awesome. So mainly, guys, the Concave is a totally different chain. But out of these two guys, who looked better, who reigned supreme? Now, I know, like what I said, guys, I love me some rope. Both 18 karat, one's Peru, one's Italy. I will say I think the rope chain is iconic, and it would be hard if I could only choose one of these not to choose the rope. But if you have a big 6mm rope and you're more trying for something a little different, I think as a subtle chain, it's that guy. And worn together, guys, I absolutely love this. I think you guys have seen this. Look, about to wrap this video up. This is how I have been wearing it. Looks just like this. And that's not as subtle as you think, huh? Two little chains equal up to about 7mm when they're sitting by each other. So, and it's flashy. So you mean you got all the rope and you've got all that heavy link doing their things. But guys, what is today? Wednesday? We're in the middle of the week, man. It's a month of Easter, you know, praise Jesus, and just stay blessed, guys. I hope that this video would help you. Gold is getting expensive, so that thing is maybe the 6mm chains and the 5mm chains are a thing some of us can't afford anymore. So maybe it's like 3mm, 4mm, 2mm. What should we do? Again, this was a 2mm, guys, and just a regular rope chain, okay? But stay blessed, and I love you much.